Hello, welcome back. In this segment, I will show how raw RSA or plain RSA is vulnerable to signature forgery. So let us assume Bob is sending a message M1 to Alice, and he signs the message using his private key. Okay, that's something we talked about in the previous segment. This is the signing part. I'm going to also assume the messages are not necessarily confidential in this case, so it's sent in clear text. Okay, but the signature is the important part. Bob also sends another message, say M2, and he signs as well using his private key DB. Okay, I'm going to show to you how an attacker Eve can construct a digital signature of a new message without having the private key of Bob. Okay, so due to the mathematical structure of RSA, this is possible. Okay, let me now show you what is that exactly. Since M1 and M2 are sent in clear, Eve is just multiplying M1 and M2 and take modulus of Bob's RSA public modulus. Similarly, Eve is also multiplying the signature corresponding to the message M1 and M2. Okay, I claim that when Eve submits this pair M and S or S and M to Alice, Alice will check the signature and she will find out that the message M corresponds to the signature yes. Okay, remember, Alice is verifying using Bob's public key. This is Bob's public key parameters, E and NB. Okay, so what is interesting here is that Eve is able to find a new pair, message signature pair. Okay, why is the verification successful? What is the reasoning behind it? Let me write the mathematics behind it now very quickly. The part where we do the signature is right. So S1 is M1 power D. D is Bob's private key. In the code I said DB just to make it clear that we're talking about Bob's. Okay, mod N. Okay, this is same as mod NB. Okay, this is the first part. And the second signature is S2 is equal to M2D, again mod N. Okay, now think about S1 times S2. What is S1 times S2? When you multiply these two, S1 times S2 is nothing but M1 M2 power D in mod N. I'm not writing mod N again and again, so it's all done in mod N. Okay, and now she's submitting S1 times S2, right? This is what she's doing here. She meaning Eve, okay, together with M1, M2. Also, this is what she's doing here. Okay, and now let's think about what is the verification going to do. Verification is, let's call this S1, S2 as yes, just for notation. She's going to take, Alice is going to take yes, right? And raise it to power E, that is the meaning of verify, right? What is verify? Verify is just S power E mod N is equal to M. That's what the verification phase is, right? So what is yes in our case? Yes is M1, M2. So it will be M1, M2 power D, power E. Yes is M1, M2 power D. So M1, M2 power D, and she's going to apply power E on top of it, Alice, which means M1, M2 E in mod N. In mod N, D and DE will cancel out because E times D is congruent to 1 mod pi of n. We talked about RSA earlier, so I will not explain this again. So M1, M2 is nothing but the message M. Okay, so the verification is also going to succeed now. So now we can see that the verifier trusted the incoming signature message pair, although the person who produced that signature message pair, in this case Eve, was able to trick Alice. Alice is not able to detect that. Eve doesn't have the private key. That is the key point here. See here, Eve's operations do not involve private key, but just commonly available data, publicly available data, and just some simple mathematics of multiplication and modular arithmetic using public data. Only public data she manipulates, and she's able to successfully forge the verification. So this is one of the fundamental problems with raw RSA signature. So in the next segment, I will show how we can make it difficult for Eve to produce a signature like this. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.